Hi everyone. Have you ever wondered why two people can eat the same food, exercise the same amount, and still end up with completely different health? We usually think living longer is all about healthy eating, going to gym, getting enough sleep, or taking good supplements. But what if one of the biggest influences on your health is not on your plate? What if it is something happened years ago is actually affecting you? Today, we are here to explore a fascinating work of Dr. Gabor Mate, a physician who has spent decades studying the connection between our emotions, stress, and physical health. His message is surprisingly simple. Your body remembers everything your mind tries to forget. And if we want to live a longer, healthier life, we need to understand how emotional wounds affect our body. So, what is trauma? When we hear the word trauma, we often imagine war, abuse, or terrible accidents. But according to Dr. Mead, trauma isn't just everything. It is what happens inside us because of a particular event. Imagine two children. Both parents are busy and stressed. One child somehow feels safe and supported, whereas the other feels lonely and believes that maybe I'm not important. The same situation, two completely different experiences. That's how the trauma gets developed. It's an emotional wound left behind. Think of it like falling down. The fall isn't the real problem, the bruise is. And emotional bruises can stay with us for years. Many of us carry invisible beliefs such as I am not good enough, I have to make everyone happy, I shouldn't cry, I must stay strong all the time. These beliefs quietly shape how we live, how we work, love, and even how our bodies function. How does trauma affect your body? So, how can emotional pain affect your physical health? Let's imagine your body has a stress alarm. Normally, it turns on when you are in danger and turns off when you are safe. But if you lived a constant stress for years, that alarm never really switches off. Your body keeps thinking it's under the threat. Imagine driving your car with accelerator and press down all day. Eventually, the engine wears out. The same thing happens to your bodies also. Long term stress can affect your immune system, your hormones, your digestion, your sleep, even your heart. Dr. Mead noticed that many people with chronic illness shared similar personality traits. Not because their personalities or anything were similar, just because of the disease, but because they had learned to survive in a certain way. For example, they struggle to say no. They always put the other people's choices first. They hide their anger, they hide their emotion, they try to be perfect. They keep everyone happy, but they don't know how to keep themselves happy. Eventually, the body starts speaking the truth that the person cannot. Sometimes through headaches, sometimes through stomach problems, or even sometimes through autoimmune diseases. Autoimmune diseases are very common in people who are actually fed up with emotions. The body says, I can't keep carrying this anymore. That is the signal. Coming to very important part that can we heal. Here is the hopeful part, because trauma happened years ago doesn't damage you forever unless and until you plan to heal. Healing is possible at any age. Healing only begins when you start listening to yourself instead of start to taking care of others. So, what the first thing you have to allow yourself is that you should listen to yourself. You should keep boundaries for yourself. You should express what you are feeling. This is the first step and most important thing which you should do. Being yourself instead of constantly trying to be whom someone wants is actually different. So your body feels safer when your life becomes more honest. And when the body feels safe, it can begin to heal. So living longer isn't only about adding years to your life. It's about adding life to your years. Yes, eating healthy, exercising, sleeping well, but also paying attention to your emotional health is very, very important. Ask yourself, when was the last time I truly listened to myself? Do I always say yes when I really want to say no? Am I carrying the pain I never talked about? Because your body is always listening. Sometimes the greatest act of self care isn't another supplement. It's finally giving yourself the permission to be authentic. Thank you very much for listening. If this episode resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And remember, healing isn't just about living longer, it's about finally living fully. Thank you. If you really like the plot, just like and subscribe.